Hello, so my name is Brooke Myers. I'm the STEM executive here in Central Texas, located in Austin, Texas. So today I'm going to be showing you how you can register yourself as a volunteer with STEM Scouts. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to go to this bit.ly link. It is bit.ly /STEM -mentor with a capital M. So once you get to this page, it will give you the volunteer requirements. It will also talk about the different volunteer roles that we have within STEM Scouts. And I want to make a really big note here that just because you complete this application doesn't mean that it is ready to go. There are two things that we need in addition to this application, which is your youth protection certificate, as well as a background check authorization form. So this youth protection certificate will go through at the end to figure out how you can complete that. And that background authorization form will be sent via DocuSign at the end of registration. So when you go to volunteer registration, you'll click the number of volunteers that you want to register. You will have to enter in personal information for every individual volunteer that you have. So I'm just going to go ahead and enter my general information. Oh, and once I click that, I'm going to click continue, not delete. So I'm going to refrain from putting my personal information in here because there are some really personal details that you have to fill out. So first you'll start with personal information with your date of birth, your driver's license number, as well as your social security number. That is because that's the documentation that we need in order to run a very thorough background check. Safety for our kids is our #1 priority, and that is why we need that information from you. Then you will complete background questions talking about, scouting experiences, your previous residences, references. If there are, things that are not applicable to you, you can always click NA and make sure that you answer all of these questions as completely as possible. Then you are reminded again that just because you complete this application doesn't mean that it's absolutely completed. You have to complete the youth protection training as well as the background check authorization form in order for your application to be completed and entered into our systems. Now, this is the next part where you can choose your volunteer role. How are you getting engaged with STEM Scouts? There's a lot of different options. All of them are $43, right? Because that $43 covers the liability cost as well as the background check cost for your volunteer application. The one I want to cover today especially is for our chartered organization representatives. So if you're an organization that represents or houses some of our STEM Scout labs, then you will click that you are a chartered organization representative. You'll choose the lab that you're associated with, that you're registering for, and then you want to make sure that at the end you add the $40 charter fee, and that's an annual charter fee for your lab to continue. If you're any other volunteer role, then make sure that you click I am not a chartered organization representative so that you're not charged that additional $40 that's not applicable to your application. So for lab managers, you'll do the same. You'll want to choose what lab you're associated with, as well as committee members. Committee members, you're not going to be associated with the lab. You guys help us in the back end to increase our fundraising campaigns and membership campaigns with those big, connecting relationships in the community, as well as help us to do general marketing and things like that. So if you're a committee member, you are not associated with the lab. So once you complete all of this, you'll click this continue button and it will take you to the cart where you will enter your credit card information to make a payment for the registration fees. Now, just because you've completed this does not mean that your application is ready to go. the next thing that you're gonna have to do is make sure that you have completed youth protection training. So what you'll do is you'll go to my.scouting.org, which is where you can complete youth protection training. If you haven't created a login or you're new to Scouting, then you'll click this create account right here. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and click into mine. So once I log into my.scouting, it will take me directly to this dashboard. So whenever I go to my dashboard, I can scroll down just a little bit and I can click Youth Protection Begins with You. If you'd rather take it in Spanish, then you can also take the Spanish module as well. So we'll start with Youth Protection and You. This will take us to the training center in BSA. And what you'll want to do is you'll go to the catalog here, which the catalog has all of the different trainings available to you. You can take other trainings if you want to. They probably won't be applicable to your role in STEM Scouts, but some of it might be really good information for you to understand BSA a little bit better. So youth protection training, you can see it is mandatory. This is the one learning plan that everyone has to take across the organization. Again, if you would rather take this in Spanish, then there is this, this module that you can do in Spanish instead. So once you complete youth protection training, so you can see that I have already completed it. If you haven't, then you'll scroll and you'll click the link below each of these different modules to complete them on your own time. I do want to say a trigger warning if you have experienced any trauma in your childhood, you know, any kind of sexual abuse, neglect, or bullying. This might trigger some unwanted memories or things like that. So make sure that if you do have that background, that you allot yourself more time so that you can take mental breaks between each of these modules. Once you complete the 3 video modules, then you'll take the youth protection certification test. You'll have to make sure that you get a minimum of 75%. And then once you have completed this, then it will prompt a certificate and send it to you directly to your email. Once you have that in your email, then you can send it directly to me. And so I know that you have completed that youth protection training. Now, you've completed registration, you've completed youth protection training. The next thing that you need to do is complete the background check authorization form. I will send that directly to the email address that you used to register with. So you will receive that via DocuSign, complete that in DocuSign, and then it will alert me and let me know that you have completed your background check authorization. Once I have all 3 of those parts, the registration online, the youth protection certificate, as well as the background check authorization form, I will make sure to get your leadership approved by the person that needs to approve it. Just depends on what role you are. Once it's approved, then it will go into our back-end system. And if you need any position-specific training, then I will be in contact with you to set that up. Either a one-on-one training or a group training, just depending on what your role is as a volunteer. Of course, if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to give me a call at 512-944-7732. You can also email me at brooke.myers@scouting.org. If you are running into any issues using these systems, I'm here to help. And I just, you know, thank you so much for being a volunteer for STEM Scouts. We're really excited to have you and all of our volunteers this year, especially in such a unique year of COVID. So we're really excited to get started with you, and really excited that you are a part of STEM Scouts here in Central Texas and beyond.